Petting a dog's head might seem like a loving gesture, but for many dogs, it can feel like the complete opposite. In this video, I'll teach you how to spot the subtle signs that your dog isn't enjoying those head pats, and share 6 common mistakes you might be making when petting them. But first, let's dive into why we instinctively go for the head in the first place. Why do we always pet dogs on the head? Have you ever stopped to think about why we automatically reach for a dog's head to show affection? It's something we do almost without thinking, and there are a few reasons behind this habit. First off, it's convenient. A dog's head is usually right at hand level. No bending required. Let's face it, crouching down to pet their paws or back could leave us with a sore back. But there's also a more human reason: social behavior. For us, touching someone's face or head is an intimate act that shows love or connection. Think about how we ruffle a child's hair or touch someone's face before a kiss. It's a universal gesture of affection. So naturally, we think petting a dog's head conveys the same love. Plus, the soft fur on their head feels pretty nice for us, right? But here's the real question. Does your dog enjoy it as much as you do? Let's find out. What's the problem with head pats? You might be surprised to learn that while we see dogs as cute and cuddly, they see us as giants. Imagine how it feels for your dog when someone much bigger than them leans down and reaches for their head. It can be pretty intimidating, right? From your dog's perspective, an outstretched hand coming at their head might not scream love. It might feel more like a threat. Dogs rely heavily on their noses, which are often close to the ground, so a sudden touch on the top of their head can catch them off guard, almost like being pounced on by a bigger dog. Now, some dogs learn to tolerate or even enjoy head pats as part of living with humans, but that doesn't mean all dogs feel the same way. Learning to read the subtle signs of discomfort is key to keeping your furry friend happy. And I'm not talking about growling or baring their teeth, but rather the more subtle signs that often go unnoticed and show up long before it gets to that point. How can you tell if your dog doesn't like being petted? Dogs don't always bark or growl when they're uncomfortable. Their cues can be subtle, so here's what to watch for. Lip licking or yawning. This is the typical behavior of a dog trying to chill out. If your dog licks their lips or yawns while you're petting them, they might be trying to calm themselves in an uncomfortable situation. Whale eyes. Here's a less obvious but equally important sign, what we call whale eyes. This happens when you see the whites of their eyes as they glance sideways. Definitely a stress signal. Pulling away. A dead giveaway that your dog's uncomfortable is when they try to back away. If your dog moves away or ducks their head, it's a clear no thanks to your touch. Ears pinned back. Your dog's ears are like little mood detectors. They reveal a lot about how they're feeling. Flat ears can indicate fear or unease, so pay attention to their ear positioning. Stiff body. Even if they're not moving away, a tense or rigid posture is a sign they're not loving the attention. By paying attention to these signs, you'll not only make your dog feel safer, but also strengthen the bond between you. Alright, if your dog lets you pet their head, or if you're determined to keep trying, stick around. Let's dive into the 6 common mistakes we all tend to make and how to fix them. Mistake number 1, approaching the wrong way. If you really want your dog to enjoy being petted, nailing the first move is key. The first thing to watch out for? How you approach them. Instead of coming at them head-on, try approaching from the side. It's far less intimidating. Once you're beside them, crouch down to their level. Being eye-to-eye helps them feel more at ease. Instead of jumping right into their personal space, give your dog the chance to come to you when they're ready. Letting them make the first move gives them a sense of control and helps them feel more at ease. Start by offering your hand with the palm facing down so they can sniff it. If they approach and give your hand a good sniff, it's a sign they feel safe and are open to more interaction. From there, you can gently start petting their head, but always keep an eye out for any signs that they might be feeling uncomfortable. And of course, don't make the next common mistake. Mistake number 2, petting too roughly. Once your dog has let you approach and start petting them, it's key to know how to do it the right way. You might feel tempted to ruffle their fur or give their head a vigorous rub, but for your pup, that can be a bit much. What feels like affection to you might come across as overwhelming or even stressful for them. Instead, keep your touch gentle and your movements slow. This helps your dog relax more with each stroke. Plus, this approach isn't just more enjoyable for your dog, it also strengthens the trust and bond between you two. And if you really want to nail the perfect petting technique, Stick around for the next common mistake you'll want to avoid. Mistake number 3, picking the wrong spots. While the top of the head isn't a favorite for most dogs, there's one spot they love, behind the ears. This spot is super sensitive, and a lot of dogs absolutely love it when you give it a gentle rub. They'll start to relax, maybe even close their eyes, and sometimes they'll lean into your hand like, "Hey, don't stop now, keep it coming." But there are some areas you should steer clear of. Take the paws, for example. Most dogs prefer to keep those off limits because of their natural instincts to protect and stay mobile. And then there's the tail. It's a key communication tool for dogs, and most of them aren't too keen on it being messed with. If you want to give your dog the ultimate comfort and joy, focus on petting spots like the base of their neck, chest, lower back, and shoulders. These are usually their favorite areas for affection, and it's where they'll feel the most relaxed and secure. Found this video helpful? Join our learning squad by subscribing and giving us a thumbs up. It supports our channel and keeps you updated with all our latest educational videos. Mistake number 4, petting for too long. Knowing how much to pet your dog is just as important as knowing how to do it. Petting for too long can make them uncomfortable, even if they seem to enjoy it at first. A good rule of thumb, keep it short and sweet, pet in brief intervals, and let your dog decide if they're up for more or if they'd rather take a break. Pay attention during those pauses. If your dog leans in or comes closer, that's your green light to keep going. But if they back away or seem uninterested, it's time to stop. Respecting their boundaries shows that you truly care about their comfort, and it builds even more trust between you and your furry friend. Mistake number 5, not telling strangers to avoid petting your dog's head. As a dog owner, it's your job to make sure your pup's interactions with others are positive and stress-free. If someone wants to pet your dog, don't hesitate to let them know the best way to do it. For example, you can say, "He prefers being petted on his shoulders, please." And if your dog isn't in the mood for attention or gets stressed by strangers, it's totally okay to let them know. "He's not feeling very social today." Most people will respect your guidance because, let's face it, everyone wants to be on a dog's good side. Remember, it's your responsibility to advocate for your furry friends' comfort and preferences. Speak up for their needs and keep those interactions happy and safe. Mistake number 6, patting your dog on the head. This one really shouldn't need saying, but just in case anyone's thinking it's a great idea, patting your dog on the head is not the way to show affection. Sure, it might seem harmless or even playful, but to your dog, those head pats can feel more like a power move than a loving gesture. The head is one of the most sensitive and vital areas for your dog. Even light taps can make them feel uneasy or annoyed. So instead of those friendly pats, stick to gentle pets in the spots they actually enjoy, like behind the ears or at the base of the neck. Trust me, your dog will thank you for it in their own special way, probably with a wagging tail and a look of pure joy. All right, now you're officially a pro at knowing what to do and what not to do when it comes to petting your dog's head. But hey, the learning doesn't stop here. If you want to get even closer to understanding your pup, check out the video on your screen. It breaks down the 10 signs your dog might be mad at you. Tap the image, dive in, and find out if your furry friend's been giving you the silent treatment or just needs a little extra TLC.